I'm David Nemelka. I am the CEO of Engage Global, and tonight is a very exciting night. We are going to launch, pre-launch Micro Daily EMF Radiation Defense. I think that this is as important a product as we have ever launched, and it's really the biggest launch of a product since we started Engage Global way back in 2012. Tonight we want to talk to you about the product. We're going to talk a little bit about the science. Here's the agenda real quick of what's going to go on tonight. We're going to talk about why we are launching Micro Daily EMF. We're going to share with you a video that Dr. Prasad and I recorded on Saturday. It's a fantastic video. It's going to explain to you a lot of the reasons why EMF and radiation or 5G radiation are a big issue in our lives today. Hopefully we can get you that information that you need to know so you can understand why Micro Daily EMF is even being launched and why it's such an important product. Why was Micro Daily EMF formulated? The original formulation was developed back in 2000 through 2006 when 5G did not even exist. Dr. Prasad has started with the advent of 5G and a lot of the concerns around 5G. Dr. Prasad decided that there was some additional ingredients that had some fantastic research around them supporting additional radiation defense, EMF radiation defense. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. In addition, we're going to address the issue of is 5G and is EMF radiation harmful? So right now we're going to get right into it, and we are going to play for you a video that Dr. Prasad and I recorded. After this call, this video will be available to everybody in the app and back office. So as you watch it, know that this video will be available on YouTube also, and it'll be a video you can share with people. So turn on the video, Robin. Well, Dr. Prasad, we're really lucky to have you here today to talk about the question, and that is are 5G and EMF radiation harmful to our health? Dr. Prasad is a world-renowned expert. He's the first person in the world to earn a PhD in radiation biology. He was mentored by Dr. Linus Pauling, the only American to win the Nobel Prize twice. He holds a patent on micronutrients and radiation protection. He worked with NASA and the Russian Federation on radiation studies, studying radiation and micronutrients and how it could help astronauts. He was the president of the National Society for Cancer and Nutrition, member of the Royal Society of Medicine in London and England, invited by the Nobel Prize nominating committee to nominate a candidate in medicine. He's published over 250 peer-reviewed articles and 29 books on micronutrients, radiation, and other health related issues. He truly is an expert in this field of EMF radiation. So we're going to have a discussion, a quick discussion with him about the threats of radiation, EMF radiation, and what has changed in the world where we need to be worried about it. Well, the main change that's happening is, if you look at back in 1981 when cell phones first rolled out, we started with what they call 1G, or the first generation. At that time, the cellular networks had 0 to 400 megahertz of power. Now, as you look at the evolution over the last almost 40 years, we've gone from 1G all the way to 5G, and 5G that they're rolling out right now is 667 times more powerful than what 1G originally was. And it's this magnitude, this huge magnitude of increase in power that's something that we should all be concerned about and thinking about. So let's talk about big business in 5G. You know, businesses are about making money. Big business is about making big money. What has his historical game plan been for these big businesses when they have things like 5G rolling out? Well, I would liken it to like tobacco. You know, initially the big business denied that tobacco was a health hazard. They denied it for decades. They were running advertisements. The doctors recommended smoking. Ultimately, big business had to admit that smoking was a danger, but that was only after hundreds of millions of people became addicted, and literally tens of millions of people died, and even today, millions more people are dying. Another example is the opioid crisis that we're facing right now. You know, Big Pharma, they sold opioids knowing that they were highly addictive. They denied that there was any health hazard for decades. Ultimately, they had to admit that there was danger after tens of millions of people became addicted. You know, big business's game plan is really simple, and that is, it's the same in 5G as what they've done with these other industries that we know are, today now know are dangerous. Let's look at companies AT&T, Verizon, Qualcomm, Huawei. What are they saying about the health risks of 5G? We've done research, and we really can't see them saying anything other than they're following government standards. Why are they not addressing the concerns that we all have with this huge increase in power of 5G and what it could do to our health? The government position on 5G, it's well established. And on EMF radiation, you can go to the FDA, the FCC, or the CDC website. We encourage you to do your own research from what the government is saying. Go to their websites, read it. Frankly, I think you'll be quite surprised what they're saying. In summary, what's big business's approach to 5G? Well, it's the same approach they've taken with other health hazards to human health. First, they deny there's a problem. They provide inadequate funding to find the truth. And the ultimate consequence is that we become the experiment. And so today we want to talk with Dr. Prasad real quickly about what are you going to do? What are we going to do as the experiment? Some really important science has come out. Scientific American, October, they said that we have no reason to believe 5G is safe. They said that the FCC standards were created in the 1980s and that there's a preponderance of peer-reviewed research, more than 500 studies that have found 2G and 3G EMF radiation to be of concern. Dr. Prasad, what's your perspective now that 5G is rolling out when all the science we pretty much have that says 2 and 3G are harmful? What's your position or perspective on that?
Already there are several publications on 2G and 3G EMF radiation showing that it caused damage, not only increased the risk of cancer, but also damages neuronal function. And so you have a lot of neurological abnormality observed within short time.
Well, Dr. Prasad, I know that, you're a world-renowned scientist, but you're not alone on this. Scientific American talked about 240 scientists who've published peer-reviewed research, much like what you've published. And those scientists have come together and they've signed an international EMF scientist appeal, asking for more research and limits on our exposure as humans to these increasingly powerful levels of EMF radiation. In fact, the World Health Organization, they've classified EMF radiation as a possible carcinogenic to humans. They did this back way in 2011 before there was even any 5G really even conceptualized. They also have science that shows that EMF radiation splits DNA strands within our cells, and the cancer rates can be up to 3 times higher in people with high exposure to this type of EMF radiation. The National Toxicology Program, funded by the U.S. Department of Health, did a $30 million study that found clear evidence that 2 years of exposure to cell phone EMF radiation increased cancer in male rats and damaged the DNA in rats and mice of both sexes. Now, Dr. Prasad, you've taught me that rats and mice are much less sensitive than the human body is to EMF radiation. So what would be your interpretation of this kind of science?
Yeah, if this kind of study produces cancer in animal and rat, you can be sure that in human, and don't forget that these studies have been performed at much lower frequency and energy than the 5G. And therefore, it is possible that 5G will have a much more remarkable effect, not only in rat and mice, but also in human, because humans generally are more sensitive to any kind of radiation, whether it is ionizing radiation or EMF radiation. And therefore, you will see that exposure to 5G may have further increased health risk than we have observed with 2 and 3G.
Well, Dr. Prasad, the International Agency for Research in Cancer, funded by the World Health Organization, they have defined EMF radiation as a group B possible human carcinogen. Your expertise is in biology and radiation. As the world's first radiation biologist, you have a strong understanding of the health consequences of exposure to EMF radiation. Why don't you help educate us on what the potential risks we're really facing with this 5G rollout is?
These studies that I will discuss have been performed in the energy range of 2 and 3G. And from there you can extrapolate that 5G will be much more damaging than 2 and 3 generations. EMF radiation. First is acute neurological abnormalities. And you can see that one of them is a hypersensitivity syndrome. And this syndrome involves headache, dizziness, balancing problem, sleep disturbances, depression, emotional problems, fatigue, irritable behavior, lack of focus, and confusion. Acute non-neurological abnormalities include DNA damage to your tissue and also damage to the sperms and testes. It also will damage heart and brain function. Late neurological abnormality includes cognitive dysfunction, tinnitus, and increased sensitivity to noise and attention deficit. These are the late effects. The late effect, which appear a few years later, includes non-neurological abnormalities such as brain cancer. An example of brain cancers are glioma, acoustic neuroma, and meningioma, as well as breast cancer.
Now, Dr. Prasad, this isn't stuff that you just kind of pulled out of thin air. These, I know you're a very serious scientist. You've been published in some of the most prestigious journals in the world. This is data you've pulled from published data that really anybody could read. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, those health consequences you shared talked about both short and long-term consequences. I was really shocked when you shared this information where how quickly EMF radiation can impact the human body.
Yeah, here is a couple of examples. Exposure to EMF radiations for only 50 minutes increase the risk of dementia. Even exposure to 5 minutes to high level of EMF radiation increase the risk of working memory in older individuals over 60 years. Even a young woman who kept her cell phone in their bra for 10 hours per day for several years developed invasive breast cancer.
Now, these are pretty concerning bits of information about what EMF radiation can do to our body. And you have some really great sources on this also.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Prasad, I know you're really concerned about the youth and the potential risk to them with this EMF radiation also. Children and adolescents have a greater sensitivity to EMF radiation than adults. And there's this chart here, there's a study here that shows the impact of holding a mobile phone next to your brain. The chart that shows the large area in red, that's from a 5-year-old who has a skull thickness of just 5.5 millimeters. The middle one is from a 10-year-old, and the one on the end is from an adult. This study was done by the electrical engineers and published in the journal Microwave Theory. Dr. Prasad, what does this tell you when 2 and 3G is causing this kind of impact on the brain, and now we'll be looking at 5G?
This shows that the reason the children are more sensitive than the adult to EMF radiation because it can absorb much more energy than the adult. And considering if there is a 5G mobile phone, then it will be much more damaging because it will absorb much more energy than what is being shown here, which is 4.4 watts per kilogram.
Now, Dr. Prasad, I know you have a special defense strategy against EMF radiation. A lot of people have asked, can you shield your body from EMF radiation from the outside? And what is your perspective on that?
It is not possible. First, it is everywhere. And second, you can block the electrical field radiations by shielding, physical shielding by metals, but you cannot block magnetic field shielding by metal. And therefore, it is very difficult to have a shield around you so that you can protect against electromagnetic radiations, because electromagnetic radiation has both electrical as well as magnetic radiation. EMF radiation is not like X-ray that we are occasionally exposed to, and EMF radiation is everywhere, in our homes, in our workplace. Therefore, we live in a way EMF radiation soup.
Well, Dr. Prasad, I know that because EMF radiation and 5G radiation is everywhere, you developed a special EMF radiation defense solution. I want to talk a little bit about that. You have a philosophy and you've got the science that demonstrates and supports this idea of protecting your body from the inside out at the cellular level with unique micronutrients. I know your science is supported by 14 clinical trials. You did a study on radiation with NASA and the Russian Federation. You also were awarded a patent on micronutrients and radiation based on the science that you were able to conduct on radiation and micronutrients. And even today you have a new patent pending, which I think is pretty exciting. And I want to introduce people to this new patent pending formulation and product that you've developed. This product is called Micro Daily EMF, and it's Dr. Prasad's solution to help us defend against EMF radiation. It's a patent pending micronutrient formulation. It's called Micro Daily EMF. It's a very special product. It promotes 5G protection, EMF radiation defense. It promotes anti-inflammation response, immune system health, DNA integrity and health, anti-aging, increased in energy, and it really boosts your natural cellular defenses. There's some special protective micronutrients in this formulation based on Dr. Prasad's lifetime of research. His research has shown the vitamin A, C, E, combined with resveratrol, curcumin, green tea, quercetin, CoQ10, N-acetylcysteine, alpha-lipoic acid, and selenium, along with beta-carotene, that these work in harmony and in connection with your body to really boost your ability to, from the inside out, have a defense against 5G. Dr. Prasad, what would you like to say about these ingredients in the special formulation that you've developed?
Yeah, I think, for example, individual antioxidant has already been shown to protect against EMF radiation as well as against ionizing radiation like X-ray and gamma ray. But the reason we combine all these together, because they work by different way in reducing the damage produced by EMF radiation, for example, oxidative damage as well as inflammation. And therefore we decided that instead of using a 1 or 2 micronutrient, you have to have a comprehensive mixture of various antioxidants which work on a different part of the cell and different way of acting and so on.
Well, Dr. Prasad, I want to personally thank you for your lifetime of effort to create this product. I know that it's giving me and my family a sense of help in a time when there's really nothing, no other answer. So thank you for the developing and formulating this product for us. Okay, Dr. Prasad, here's the exciting news. Micro Daily EMF is now available for order. It's $69.99 a bottle with a subscription. It's a brand new product, a brand new formulation, patent pending. It's going to start shipping in July. And you can, everybody watching this can pre-order the product today, so you can be amongst the very first to get the product when we ship. Okay, now with all of this information, I hope you're asking yourself, what are the risks if you do nothing? Think about how every day you go out into the sun. Are you like the lady on top who's done something to help defend herself from the sun, or are you like the man below who clearly has not? Now, what is the difference between the two of these people? Well, we all know the answer. It's sunscreen. So now, as 5G rolls out, it's a part of our future. There's nothing we can really do to stop it or to not be exposed to it. We're going to be swimming in a radiation soup. The question is, are you going to be someone who's just swimming in the soup, or are you going to be like this family? What will be the difference in your life? Well, I know that based on Dr. Prasad and his lifetime of research, based on the science and the knowledge we shared with you today, a big difference is going to be Micro Daily EMF. Now, today we've presented to you the knowledge and the science that you can make an informed decision about how you can protect yourself and your loved ones. As 5G rolls out, you now have information and you have access to a product that can help you from the inside out. That's Micro Daily EMF. There is a quick introduction to Micro Daily EMF. That video is now in your back office and in the app. You can share it with anybody that you would like. Also in the back office, we've got pass-along cards, rack cards, a product brochure, desktop printable. You can order those or just print those out on your own. The video, like I said, it's available now for you to share. You can share it with anybody that you want. Additional training and education on EMF radiation and Micro Daily. We're going to do another session, but this is going to be a longer one on Wednesday, June 17th at 6 o'clock, so just in 2 days. We're going to do about a 50 to 60 minute presentation with Dr. Prasad, where we're going to go into a lot more of the depth and detail behind Micro Daily. EMF, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the science that Dr. Prasad has. We're going to describe the 4 new ingredients, more detail that we've added to Micro Daily EMF. I'll just highlight them real quickly for you. We've got resveratrol, which we've beefed up in the Micro Daily. We've got quercetin, we've got curcumin, and we've got green tea. Those 4 special ingredients has been added in very significant doses. In fact, I don't know if you noticed in the presentation, but Micro Daily, which was 2 capsules morning, 2 capsules night, which was 4 a day, it's now been beefed up to 3 in the morning and 3 at night, so it's 6 capsules. So a bottle of Micro Daily EMF is going to have 50% more capsules in it. It's going to have 180 capsules. It's going to be a fantastic product that people can take. You're going to get all of the same benefits of Micro Daily with that additional boost for 5G and EMF radiation defense. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. So we had a fantastic turnout tonight. We hope to see all of you again on Wednesday night and hopefully even more. Once again, Wednesday night is going to be geared to be an even more expansive conversation and discussion with Dr. Prasad about the science behind 5G EMF radiation defense. So tonight, we want to invite all of you to jump in right away. You can get a pre-order. The product Micro Daily EMF is available in your back offices. It's available on our website. It's not available to sign up for a subscription yet because we need to see how many orders we're going to get just on this initial wave. And also we need to make sure that we have enough product for this initial wave. So we're not going to be doing the subscriptions yet, but with the launch of the product and the shipping of the product here in early to mid-July, we'll then be turning that functionality on. All of you now have the knowledge, and we've given you some insights into the impact that 5G is going to have in all of our lives. You know, I like to liken the Micro Daily EMF. It's like taking sunscreen on the inside. You know, when we go out into the sun, we know that the sun has radiation, and we know that if we don't put on sunscreen, we're going to get sunburn. It's the same now with 5G that's attacking us, and this EMF radiation that's attacking us from the inside. Micro Daily EMF, Dr. Prasad has now created a product that's like having sunscreen on the inside. So want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for your interest in this product. We look forward to answering more questions on Wednesday, and we look forward to all of those who have caught the vision of what 5G is going to be doing and how it's going to be impacting our lives from a health standpoint. We look forward to providing you a defense and a solution. So God bless you. Thank you again for joining us. And I just want to finish this call like I usually do and remind everybody that dreams only work if you do. And at Engage Global, we're a company here to work with you. So God bless you and good night.